And welcome back, everybody. My name is Siphon or Siphon117, whichever you want to call me. And welcome back to my Armored Core 4 Answer Let's Play. This will be episode 2. And the first thing that we're going to be doing today is we are going to take a look at my newly decaled Armored Core next. I made an emblem because I lost all my emblems, so I had to make a new one. And I have pimped it out with a nice looking paint job, and we're also going to make a couple of changes to his design here. So firstly, I'm going to switch up to the 2 machine guns and get rid of the plasma cannon on the back. And we're going to roll with this for now. And this episode, we're going to kind of, we're not going to do any of the campaign missions yet. We are instead going to be doing order matches for however long I believe we should be doing order matches. So, we shall begin. Champion Champs with Killdozer. Believe it or not, this is actually a reference to I believe it's a reference to an incident that happened here in the States, where a man got really fed up with the mayor of this particular town. I'd have to look it up again, and he basically customized a bulldozer to make it into a tank. He armored it up. He also had cameras, and he had like different rifles for different directions, and it was quite the spectacular thing. The only reason it got stopped without military intervention was because in breaking down one of the buildings in this town, he got stuck. And so they were able to get in, and before they could get to him, he committed suicide. So we're going to do this in the desert. Now, funnily enough, Champion Champs, even though he's not that useful in a thing, in the, his AI, if he had better weapons, would actually be pretty damn tough, because he likes to overboost a lot, and if he had laser blades instead of those dozer blades, he would actually be a pretty reasonable threat. And as you can see, we're just chewing him apart piece by piece. Just look at that. Yeah, that was quite easy. 50,000 credits. We do actually get his weapon, strangely enough, even though it's one of the most useless weapons I have ever seen. Like, just to put this in perspective, the very basic laser blade that it's not a basic laser blade, it's actually a pretty good laser blade. So this is the dozer blade. Let's look at the stats here. It does have a very low EN cost at only 2, but it's reasonably heavy, heavier than both of my weapons currently. It does have a good attack power at 10,000, but my Dragon Slayer has an attack power of 15,000, nearly 16,000. And look at that blade range. Just look at it. 1 to 6. You tell me which one is better. But anyway, Dozer is dead. Let me go back. Miss Theresa. She is actually a surviving Lynx, as it says here in her text. She was an original that survived the Dismantlement War and the Lynx War. She went with Taurus, or she joined up with Taurus when GAE and Taurus, GAE and Aquavit combined together after the events of Armored Core 4. Taurus is like a mixture of the engineering technology from Aquavit and GAE, hence her quadruped design using Agiros parts, and Ultra parts as well. Alright. There we go. You'll have to forgive me if I don't edit out the waiting sequences. It gives me a few seconds to collect my thoughts, and you know, I'll get better. I'll probably get to a point where I do where I do edit out the waiting times. But Miss Theresa here is actually quite tough. She will kick your ass if you don't hammer her really fast at the beginning. She's got hand missiles, a bazooka, a plasma cannon, and she hasn't used it yet, but she also has a Kojima missile, which can do a lot of damage if it hits you. Where'd she go? And the plasma cannon creates ECM, which obviously messes up with your radar. Ow, there you are. Oop, fuck, there's the Kojima missile that I was talking about. There you are. Come here. She's actually quite tough. She can do a lot of damage very quickly. I figure for this episode we'll do about half of the Collard rank matches, and then on the next episode I'll do more of the Collard rank matches. And because from the beginning these Collard matches are actually quite easy, especially with the dual machine gun build. There are some that will be reasonably challenging, but you know, this is a partial walkthrough / just a regular LP, and as a walkthrough, the first thing you should be doing is doing up all the Collard matches, because you get some interesting weapons and you gain a lot of cash. So, and then you have Dan Morrow and Celebrity Ash, who I kind of skipped over because he's about as noteworthy as a piece of wood. His AC is not that bad, but his piloting skill is lacking, to be putting it lightly. Funnily enough, his AC is actually not designed by himself. It's designed by a certain Floyd Shannon, who actually designs a few other nexts in this game. Never mentioned in the game, but apparently it's likely to be an Armored Core Next Architect, kind of like a remnant leftover thing from Armored Core Formula Front Reader, an Architect or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Patch the Good Luck. Oh, patches. That's a reference to somebody else's Let's Play. Patch the Good Luck with not a very well made next. I mean, it's overweight for one, but the AI aren't affected by being overweight for some reason. Don't know why. They just aren't. But he's just not a very tough fight because he's not very mobile. He does like to jump around a lot, and he does have ECM. And while his GA core gives him some defense, the rest of his body parts are just nothing. Oop, I lost him. Oh, there he is. He's not a threat, really. Just not one at all. On his own. Kind of a spoiler for later. There is a mission where he's working with another next. That's also a sniper next. And when it's him and another person, they're actually reasonably challenging to fight because, you know, you have to worry about more than one. And the ECM can make tracking difficult. Now this guy's actually kind of unique because he's a support specialist. He works with another Lynx who is after him. We'll fight him next. And his AC is actually reasonably decent. The muscle shells, the missiles on his backs and shoulders, if you use them correctly, can be really, really devastating. But if you use them correctly, that's the issue, you know. Also, if you use them and get it shot while you're launching them, they'll do a lot of damage to yourself. Unfortunately, he's not particularly mobile, hence why he's a support. He's not specifically built for face-to-face combat. You just hammer him from the side, machine guns. And dead. I do like the design of his AC. It does look really nice and has like nice smooth edges and all that. Emerald Raccoon, dead. Now, this is the opposite of Emerald Raccoon. This is the next that he works with. Scarlet Fox. And I actually really like this guy's design. I've actually used it in multiplayer, and it's pretty good with the machine gun arm and then grenade launcher combo. And he's reasonably mobile, not super fast. He relies more on being in the air and volleying machine guns and grenades onto you from above. However, because he's a reverse joint, he has slow turning speed. And we can exploit that weakness. Ow. And he immediately hits me with a grenade. Well, this is gonna go great. But because he has the his AC doesn't have very good primal armor, or because I'm using 2 machine guns, whichever. And there we go. Yeah. Not particularly hard if you know what you're doing, but against newer players, he can be quite tough because of his machine gun arm and grenade launcher attacks. Dawn Colonel. Next with wonderful, or Dawn Colonel's the pilot, Lynx, with the next wonderful body. He's actually a tougher opponent here than he is in one of the missions. We'll see that later. His AC is actually reasonably decent. It has okay mobility. It has good firepower. It has moderate primal armor. It's not very good, but it's not super like really bad. But you know, it's just relatively, like, for my setup, he could actually be kind of tough because he has very high physical defense. Kind of. If he's able to hit me with his bazookas. Or not. Or I could just hammer him to death. Yep, there you go. That's the power of the Aaliyah. Just unloading machine guns into him. Dawn Colonel. There we go. Francis Nereus in the AC Buccaneer. Now this one's interesting in that even though his description here paints him as being the leader of an independent mercenary squadron, which going off of that means you could potentially lead like an armed attack and you could like go in to defeat him or something like that. He's never mentioned in the game at all. You never fight him in the campaign. He's just here, which I feel is a lost opportunity because his AC is actually quite dangerous because it's a tank type. It's a lightweight tank specifically with laser cannon arms. Rapid fire laser cannon arms. Really quite good actually, laser cannon arms, but you'll see here in a moment. If this goes as I'm expecting it to go, it'll actually be a reasonably even damage race. Thankfully the Aaliyah has decent EM weapon defense, but he's also actually quite mobile. You know. He's got, I believe he has the AS shoulder missiles on his shoulders, and then he has scatter missiles as well. Ooh. Ow, 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 ow. There we go. He's one of the ones that you don't want to face him directly face to face because he can output the damage quite quickly. Buccaneer dying. There you go. Next is Ceres with his next Savage Beast. Now, he actually does have some... he actually does get featured in the campaign as a support unit. He's one of... you can pick him as a partnership. I forget the word they use, but interesting to note. Well-balanced biped, technically independent. Unlike Big Mouse, he's known for choosing missions carefully. Who is Big Mouse? Big Mouse is never mentioned in the game, ever. I don't know who Big Mouse is supposed to be, but, I don't know if that's a translation error, or if they lost a next somewhere, I don't know. But, we'll see how it goes. His next is actually reasonably well balanced. However, in a close quarters battle, which is what this is going to be, he doesn't stand a chance against mine. It's actually quite hard to, at least in the single player, for the AI to really counter dual machine gun Aaliyah. Just... holding down the firing buttons. The Hitman isn't even the most powerful machine gun in the game, and oop, didn't mean to do that. That was a drift turn, by the way, for anybody who wants to know what that was. I don't try to pull those off because in the multiplayer it actually can lag the game for some reason. Who knows? Alright, Commissary Johnny with his next Double Edge. Now, funny thing, as it says here, he's a famous architect. He also is the designer of a couple of other nexts in the game. We'll see those when I take a look at the schematics after beating the Collard. This guy is actually quite dangerous because even though he only has a handgun and the shotgun shoulder, which is completely worthless, that Kojima blade is very dangerous. Also, oop, didn't mean to do that. One thing to note is he has the exact same color scheme as Hilarios from Armored Core 4. I don't really know why he has the exact same color scheme as Hilarios, but, you know, just the way it is. But, so, Commissary Johnny, hey? Yeah, he's not that threatening of an, like, if he's able to hit you with that Kojima blade, he can do a lot of damage, but he's gotta hit you like that. There we go, that was quite close. And because he's a lightweight, he has no defenses. Which means my machine guns are just shredding him to pieces. Oop, 22. Haha, there we go. Yeah, not a very exciting fight, really, but you do have to be careful because he can and will pile bunker you with his Koji blade. Well, I guess it's not really a pile bunker. Anyway. And as you may not have caught that, we got 5 points of FRS memory. So, we'll go to Tune, and we're going to put those 5 points into my energy output. Just for a little bit of... doesn't do a whole lot, but we'll get there. Now, the weapon he gives us after beating him is this. Now, if you thought this was a kind of okay weapon. It's not really that good of a weapon. And then this is a good laser blade. This thing, it's the energy equivalent to a pile bunker, which we'll get later in the game. And 26,000 attack power. This thing is more than capable of one-shotting a next if it gets a direct hit. The weaknesses, of course, it has a relatively short blade range of only 4. It also has only 30 uses, and unlike laser blades or the dozer blade, it also has ammo cost. Quite substantial ammo cost too, but it's actually a really good weapon, but we won't be needing it for a while. Where are we at on the Collard ranks? We're on 21. I'll do this one, iPool. I'm looking at the recording time here. I'll do this one next for iPool, who is another survivor from Armored Core 4, with her next Vero Nork. Yeah, Vero Nork. It's designed as a support unit, but this one can be very, very damaging if you don't kill it fast enough, because the missile arms, the volleys that they can fire, if you don't dodge them, or if you don't shoot them out of the sky, they can do a lot of damage. And because they're AS missiles, she doesn't even need to look at you for them to track you. So, as it says, it's a she's a survivor from Armored Core 4. So, let us begin. Her next is exactly the same as it was in Armored Core 4 as well. There's no changes to it at all. And here we go. Since I have machine guns, I want... Ooh, hello. To be, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. Ow. I'm gonna blow them up, and there we go. That's the weakness to her design. Is if you can shoot them while she's firing them in her face, they'll blow up and kill her. Vero Nork defeated. Got a couple of stabilizers, and look at that. Alright. That puts us at rank 20. So, with that done, I'm going to be calling this episode good. It's about 22 minutes long at this point. And thank you for watching. If you like, please like. If you want to watch more, please consider subscribing. If you didn't like it, dislike it and tell me why in the comments down below. And I will be ending it here. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.